Okay, back again with another live stream. I can finally say that again. Okay, so I've got OBS back up and working, and I'm working on tweaking out the settings to the way that I want them, or the way that they work the best. Or I can check my sound over there. Let me get on the desktop. And so the last couple hours here, or however long it's been, that was my first stream today. Working on the settings. I fixed it day before yesterday, where I could stream again. And as I was, actually what was happening is my recording wasn't starting. See, I have it set so that when you hit, I don't want to click on that because that'll stop the stream, but when you hit start stream, then it automatically starts the recording. And that wasn't working. And it turned out that I had selected for the recording codec using FFmpeg as the encoder to FLV. Well, since I reverted back to 21.1.1 OBS Studio, so that because the new 22 version crashes when you click start stream, that's what I finally figured out. That doesn't work. I remember that after a while. So I went back to the default, they call it the standard or regular or something. I don't even know what it is, they don't tell you. But it works just fine. And I changed my name. I thought that was it. And I kept working on that. And that's how come I kept starting and stopping. I wasn't thinking I could have just started recording instead of starting a stream. And found out the same thing. But anyway, so I've got all these to clean up. I don't like to leave little messed up short things on my site because, it shows them and people might click on them, try to watch them, and, that'll make me look bad, right? And people won't come back maybe. So anyway, there's one. I'm going to have to go back and rename them and all that stuff, but I haven't done that yet. But you can, click on all of the ones you want to delete and delete them all at once. But first I want to just give them a quick look and see what they look like. Thought I'd do it on the video since I don't usually show stuff like this. This is if you have never been here, and you do YouTube streaming, that's where you would go when you click on. Now this is in your videos section, but this is not, you don't just go to your channel. Actually, I don't know how to get there. I know it's really not that hard. Oh, wait a minute, I think I do. I think you click on YouTube Studio or something. What I do is I made a bookmark straight to it, and I use that. And I don't like those there all the time, so I always put them away when I'm not using them. Take them away. But if I want to work on things, I go to these, this area. If I just want to see what it looks like to the public, basically, I go to my channel first, So anyway, you can rename, tag, description right here, add them to playlist. I have most of mine already set up to auto add to playlist, unless it's some brand new subject or something, then I'll make a new playlist or something. But and you can play them. Still another problem while recording. I'm going to hurry up and hit stop stream because I don't want that. So yeah, see, I knew I didn't want that, but I just wanted to see what it had in there. That one's only 4 seconds. That's not long enough to even click on. I don't think it'll really play anything. And this one, see how much got on there. Sometimes I might be surprised. Not my problem. Okay. So I hate when little things go wrong that you just don't know what they are. I'm going to do that because now it's still trying to stream, isn't it? It starts streaming. Okay, the recording. But why do you have to be unspecified? The error. The error. It wouldn't even tell you what kind of error it was or anything. Okay, so that is all. I think I looked at all the ones I want to look at. It's just, all these different problems over and over. Let's see. Where was I? Okay, yeah, that one, 9 seconds, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, 4 seconds. I think I skipped a couple, but the two longest ones I saw. Okay, so 31, 44. You got to be careful in here because if you do this right away, sometimes, YouTube is still processing your live stream video. Like if you do go here right after it quits, sometimes you can't, they're not even there yet, but if they show up, they may not be done processing, and they may have the wrong time code in there. That's why I don't just delete them. But I went through and looked at these other videos, and they're what I expect them to be. This one, that one, and that one. So yeah, I'm good. Okay, so now I'm going to go. You might be able to do that and get them, and say delete. You can, but I don't know if you'll get all of them. But up here, if you go to select them, like I want to get them all at once. You can also, do things to them besides, you can edit titles in every video. That's pretty handy sometimes. It's not ideal. It doesn't always put them right where you want them, but you can put them at the top or the bottom of your description and so on, or at the beginning and the end of your title and stuff like that. Or you can just replace. Be careful because you can replace the title, and you might not. Probably don't want. I don't want that most of the time myself. But anyway, delete 5 videos. Hit cancel because I didn't really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just really careful. I don't want to have to go re-upload them just because I wasn't paying good attention. Okay, delete 5 videos. Yes. And you can't do anything else until that's done. Usually, well, if you're doing like a bunch of edits to your tags or whatever, it'll tell you can't do anything else. Okay, so now that's all I wanted to do is just I thought, well, since I got to do that anyway, I'll go ahead and show it. So now I've got these 3 live streams, and let's see, I'll leave that open. And my stream's green now. Just now started out yellow again. I'm trying to get it to quit doing that because it didn't used to do that. I figure I'm on the edge of what something can handle. I don't see how I could be on the edge of what my internet connection can handle. It could be the edge of what my machine can handle. That would be more logical. Now these others, and of course these are the backup videos. Most of those, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 8, 15, and 11 minutes. Oh, I won't know by looking at how long they are. Well, this is the one I'm making, the top one. So 1, 2, 3. One of them I didn't have the name redone, and then that one will be it. And then there's some test videos. I always do test setup videos, and then I use Simple Screen Recorder actually to record the whole time while I was doing all this. So I'm covered. But now I'm not using. I'm not running 2 recorders at the same time. And now now OBS is back to normal. That's what it normally does. Sorry. Yeah, because it was running 33 to 40%. Well, I kind of thought it might be because I was running the second, video app, recording desktop at the same time on 2 apps. What do you expect? So yeah, that was what it was. What my deal was. I don't know why. Only OBS was using more. It could be whichever one you start first or something. I don't know. Well, wait a minute. I don't know which one I started first. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it. I was thinking I was going to have to change some of my settings. I think I'll close the browser until I need it again. Stay on the desktop. Now I'll go into settings. I'm not going to change them while I'm recording and streaming, but I can look at them. On the output, see, I'm doing bitrate 4000. I've never done that much before. I was always doing 2500 because that was the default, or that was what the wizard set up actually, I believe. And I have gone back and forth between. Well, for a long time I've had it on 4 keyframe interval seconds. 4 is what I've got. Keyframes every 4 seconds. 0, if you put 0 in there, it'll be auto, but then you don't know what you're getting. And I was having trouble with my stream getting poor health, and on YouTube it told you how to do that. That's how I learned how to do it. 4 is the maximum you can put. And so I've always just I tried putting it back on 0 recently because I thought maybe that had something to do with my problems with the crashing. Even I just tried everything, but now that it's working again, well, actually because I reverted back to the older version, those are the 2 things I'm thinking I might tweak, but I'm not gonna do it right now, and I may not. I guess I'll do a few more streams before I decide. I am thinking that YouTube is saying their minimum bit rate is, this is in kilobits per second, or kilobytes per second. It's always confusing to say which one you're supposed to say, depending on, like in your Wi-Fi speed, it's kilobits, or megabits. So this might be, in video I can't remember, it's kilobits or kilobytes, one or the other, per second. Anyway, I'm on 4,000, and YouTube says they accept 3,000 to 6,000. Of course, the higher the bit rate, the higher quality of the video. And I immediately noticed, I was watching back my videos, they look better than they did recently, last week, when I was just recording, or when I was, I guess I could look at a couple of the ones I have recorded. So anyway, I'd like to keep it as high as I can, as my machine can handle, and my internet connection, which I've got 200 down and 10 up, so it should be plenty for what I'm doing, because you're really going to be using, even at that, I can't imagine, let's say I used a whole lot, like 5 megabits up. Well, this is measured in kilobits though, see, and I've got 10 megabits. So, I mean, what if I was using half of it? I'd still be fine, right? Well, maybe with other, 2 other people on the internet, maybe not, but usually it's running about 1 to 2 at the most when I'm streaming. I think it's really 1 to 1.5. But now that I've raised the bit rate, and I've raised it from 2,500 to 4,000, so I'm gonna have to keep a watch on that. My streams are good now. It just still starts out yellow, but then, well, earlier, I think I mentioned it in the stream, I had everything turned on, and I guess maybe that's really what my problem is the machine gets to where it can't handle so much input. I had my USB endoscope, Cam 1 and Cam 2 running, the USB sound card with the lapel mics plugged in case I need them, and then my line audio in from the the SM58 going through the mixer, and the Behringer B-amp all plugged in and going. And it after a while it was red, and I went ahead and quit. It never did come back that I noticed before I quit. I decided to go ahead and quit, but I kind of rambled on a bit, as I do so well. But yeah, okay, so there's the video I just made. Could probably look at any of them, but well, let's look at this one, the last one I made, because maybe I can, we'll see. Okay, oh, sound check, audio video check. And okay. Let's see, one in desktop, can do that. Okay, I can do desktop. So I didn't want to open a bunch of other stuff up. Now what I noticed is that things look noticeably clearer than they have been. Let's go back to, trying to think, before, oh, that's a VLC video. I think this is before I got it, that one there is probably before I got it fixed. Yeah, that's before I got it fixed, because I put, well, actually I named these all the same and just numbered them, so, but I think that one would be, make sure it records. Okay, now we're testing recording, desktop recording on OBS Studio, and they're blurry. Get over here in the videos. We should be making a video right now, right there. So you got to set that up, but it is really. Okay. So yeah, I thought so. It was just so much better that I really noticed it. So that would have been at 2,500 kilobits per second, and that other thing, the frame keyframes was at, well, I think it was at 0 actually, but that's just, from what I understand, I don't know if I can. I remember finding out what it was, but I can't tell you the exact technical details of how YouTube says it keyframes are, but keyframes, from what I understand, are they're frames that are actually I don't know how to explain it. Every 4 seconds, a keyframe is checked, I guess, by the server. It's to keep your video in sync. You know, yeah, I can't explain it enough to even sound half intelligent. So anyway, they wouldn't have to do with how your video looks, is what I'm trying to say. Except that if it's not working right and your stream gets in bad health, then you might get caching on your stream. But then you're going to see obvious. You're going to see jump cuts in the video, like if it's dropping frames, you know. So and hasn't been happening here either way, whether I have it set one way or the other. Well, like I said, when it used to be set on default, I set it once. In 2016 is the last time I remember, actually running it. Maybe I went back and forth to play with it, but because I thought, oh, maybe that'll help. But most of the time, I think I've been running that since when I first learned about it in 2016 when I started using OBS. So anyway, back then it was called Open Broadcaster Studio. Now it's called OBS Studio. They reworked the version. I was looking through all this stuff. They reworked the version. It's 2017. I think they completely reworked it and renamed it. And now they call the original one Classic OBS, or they call it Open. They kind of just call it Open Broadcaster. Now let's see how much difference there is in the recordings I get with these settings are as close to the same as I could get them. Let's put it that way. This is how you doing here? Okay, we're going to go back to work on the settings on. Well, I can see it's blurry. You can see the it's blurrier. The date is important, and the time. If I want to try to organize them on you, and new USB device found. Now that might have been the key, but that's what I did. But then, and this is a video I recorded to my drive, so streaming has nothing to do with it because it wasn't streamed. You can stream with simple stream recorder. It's what it's called. Of course, the stream can be streamed to your local hard drive, or streamed over the internet, or streamed over your local network, or whatever. So it doesn't have to be necessarily going to YouTube or whatever. But yeah, there's definitely an improvement right now. So if I can keep that, I will. What I've got right now, everything looks better. All right. So and actually, I think my older videos. Well, I don't think they're as good as they are right now as clarity, but they were better than. I think they were better than. I didn't notice any blurriness in the words really before I started having trouble. So I think the settings. Well, I think the main thing is these ones that were kind of blurry. They were going instead of 1080 by 1920 by 1080, they were doing 1280 by 720. So because that's what the wizard figured out was what my machine could handle the best. But anyway, I'd been watching a lot of videos trying to figure out what was broke, and I learned a bunch of tweaks, so I had put them in my profiles. And see, earlier in previous videos today, I had imported my profiles that I had and my scene collections, and so that's what I'm running on right now is this scene collection. And the profile I can't show because I'm actually, recording and streaming. So, good. Let's see. What's the other thing? Oh, the other thing I need to do, I think it deserves a video of its own. And I think I may be just getting too tired to do it. I've been doing this for several hours now. I don't want to mess up. It's kind of a tricky. Well, it's not that tricky, but it's important. I'll kind of explain what I've done. I was going to say I could go through screenshots, but I've got a mixed bag of screenshots the last few days. So let me see how I can explain it. I was going to stay on the desktop because I might show something, but I can't unless I show screenshots or something. Going to be showing anything. So I set Fedora 28, that's what I'm running on Linux. I turned off auto updates. I had that on and I like it to be on so that this version of OBS wouldn't get updated and broken again. And I had to hurry up and do it because I only had about 40 minutes or so before it was fixing to update again. I looked in, I checked that, and so I turned it off, and then I went and figured out how to. I believe I figured it out and did it right. I freeze just OBS to this version, and so now I want to turn on auto updates again, but and see if it, and hope that I've got it done right and it doesn't break it again. But yeah, and I need to back up. I've done some changes since I imported these scenes, so I need to rename them, back them up by exporting them. And the reason I want to rename them is because if you leave the same names, then even though if you try to, like say if I left this one in here and tried to import import a different, like I can make a different backup just by saving it in a different folder. That's what I'd been doing, and but inside of the files it still has the same name, which that's the name I gave it. So what I need to do is rename it and then save it in a different folder so I don't overwrite this one, and then when I import it, it'll be a different profile, sure enough. Or that's the scene collection, this would be a profile. But I can do this. I can do the scene collections right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and start SSR. I think I'm just going to start calling it SSR, simple screen recorder, and do it in there. Then I can do them both. And it's not really a big drawn out thing to change the backup. I just have to. I do have to get out my instructions to remember where. Well, actually, right now I think I could remember where to go, but. Let me see if I can go there just to show, since I'm mumbling around about it. But like I said, I don't think I'll try to do it right this minute. So we'd go to the root of the whole file system, etc. Let's see if I can remember now. DNF. I think it's DNF. Yeah, DNF automatic config. And I can view it, but I can't edit it because that's you have to be a root to do that. But what you do, see, all I had to do was right here it says download updates. I changed it from, I had it on yes, I changed it to no, and then I need to put it on yes, and then apply updates, yes. And then when the first time you have to install DNF automatic, after you freshly install Fedora, this is not going to be there for DNF automatic, so you have to install it. Then you have to edit these files, and then you have to run a command, which I forgot what it is, to get the schedule going. But my schedule's still going. I just turned off the updates. At least it should be still going. So anyway, that's what I'm going to need to do. But I'm not going to do it right now because I'm so tired. I'm afraid I'll screw it up, and I don't want to screw this up. And I want to do my backups. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do my backups because I'm afraid I'll forget. And don't want to forget that. Let's see, we'll equal those, and then I can go into that other directory. There we go. Oh yeah, simple screen recorder. I want to change how it does the time and date. I guess I'll just do it the way I'm doing this one. See, it's saying 2019. I want it to be 020419, and I did debate about whether I want to just 0204. Well, like I said it, 020419 instead of 02042019. I think I really do prefer that. So I think I'll try to change this one. I'll do that right now in this video because I can't show it, while simple stream recorder's running, and I don't want those dots in those. I've been ending up renaming those, but let's just go ahead and open up simple stream recorder and get in the. Let me check my. Yeah, that's not going to change my resource usage or anything. Okay, so this is how it always opens up, and it tells you how to use it right there. I mean, I'm already familiar with streaming, so I didn't have to, work too hard to set it up. Just a second. Okay, so this is mine now. I went ahead, there's a I guess it was defaulted to none, but anyway, I made me a input profile. I went and named, actually misspelled it, SINPLE. I keep thinking I ought to fix that by, I guess I'd have to make a new one. You can't rename it, I don't guess. So I'd have to make a new one, but I have just been so busy working, I hadn't even thought about it much. I mean, it'll keep working just like that. But anyway, I set my all screens. Oh, yeah, you can pick either all screens or screen one. That's all you got right there to pick. So I want all screens, and it does work no matter where you go. I have, all the different workspaces or desktops, and it goes to all of them. Record entire screen is what I always want. Frame rate, I don't want to scale the video down or anything like that. I want it 1920 by 1080. I want to record the cursor, record the audio, pulse audio. That was the default anyway. And then you can pick between, that says monitor of built-in audio, analog stereo. When, oh, that probably got jacked up when I moved that right there. I think it does that every time. You want to pick your real source. That won't work. That was the first problem I had. I had no audio. Built-in analog stereo or my lapel mics would be if they're plugged in on that USB sound card, it would be that mono one down there. But you don't want, the monitor one did not work for me in my system. Hit save on that. That might stop me from having trouble with that. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. It's just, I feel silly having it say simple, S-I-N instead of S-I-M, but anyway, I'm going to leave it. Okay, so I'm glad I went through that. That would have been bad if I tried to do a recording and it wasn't working. I'd be like, where's my audio? Okay, yeah, okay. So continue, and I put in the, browse to the directory I wanted it in, and then there's, oh yeah, okay, it automatically does the time and date, and I made me an output profile, Don output simple profile, and saved that at the beginning when I first started. What I'm wondering is, well, that's browsing to the folder, but you see it has that file name in there? Somewhere it shows you how to set up that time, the time format. I thought it did. But it'll go, the time is going to go after that name I have in there, see, and it's in that format. But I saw it. Maybe it doesn't allow you to change that. Well, anyway, and it was defaulted to separate files per segment, and I was like, well, what does that mean? If checked, a separate video file will be created every time you pause and resume the recording. If unchecked, all recording segments will be combined. Okay, so you can pause the videos, and that's not here right now, but there's a pause button when you're recording. It can be very handy, especially like if you go nuts coughing or something, you can pause the video. OBS doesn't do that. You can't pause the video, but but it does have, I can set up, I use keyboard shortcuts to mute the mic and stuff, and if I can, usually by the time I start coughing, I'm jerking and shaking so hard I can't reach the keyboard, so it doesn't help. But same thing with the pause button, really. And then container, it's on other because that's the only way I could get FLV. Some of the defaults, are those there. FLV gives a good quality, especially when you set it up at higher bit rates, and it uses the least resources. Oddly enough, it's flash video format, but it actually uses the less resources of any of the others I've used. All those right there. The Matroska MKV, I hardly ever use that. It's basically it's MP4 inside encapsulated inside of that, Matroska MKV, but it's got, I'm sure it's fine. It's used a lot, but anyway, I don't use it a lot. And then the codec is H.264. You can do VP8. Don't do Theora for YouTube. Theora will accept H.264, VP8, but not Fedora. The preset, that was the default super fast. You could do actually in OBS. I do very fast. It's probably the reason why this one right now is using less resources, because actually the higher you set it, the less work the machine does to make. But it actually makes a better quality video the further down you go. But my machine, well, it'll work on super fast. I wouldn't go ultra fast, because then you're probably going to have warns you in OBS that you may have not a very good video, basically. Yeah, OBS is defaulted to very fast, and I've always used that. But this one was defaulted to super fast, and I've left it on there. It's fine. I don't want to have trouble, so I'm leaving it there. Codec for audio MP3. You can either, in YouTube, you can either do AAC or MP3. MP3 goes right along with, well, it works. It's if you want to play your video somewhere else, some other player, then it might not work with AAC, so I'll leave it there. And then I knew that YouTube wanted 128 kilobytes, so I set that. I'm going to hit save again to make sure I don't lose. I noticed that when you kind of fiddle around in here, sometimes it changes some of your settings. I think the next one would be ready to record. So I don't guess you can see, there's not much. There's not a bunch of windows, a bunch of drop downs or anything, like edit, file, all that stuff. So yeah, if it's not right here, then you can't do it. I really thought I saw a place to edit the time format, but I don't see it, and the time and date. And you can go back. That's what I just did, the bottom here. I'm just kind of looking through it. So that's back to the beginning screen. But you can go, you can read, go to their website. Of course, you can either, let's see, now this was in the Fedora 28 repos, I think, repositories. If not, you can go to their website and get it. But this is what I've been using, and it's working pretty well. It's not quite as high quality as what I'm getting out of OBS right at the moment. But let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Now see, it's ready to start recording. And you can either click start recording, and the default shortcut is Control R. You can change that if you wanted. Quick and easy to do those things. And that's useful because the last time I made a recording, I went over here and I switched to OBS, turn on the camera, and then hit Control R, and it worked perfectly. And you can see that you're recording, and what you saw was, just a preview of my camera, not the whole camera like that was just now. But this turns from black to red right up here, and that's a simple screen recorder icon. And so then I knew I was recording. Then I double checked by coming over here and looking at the file. But and you got a preview where you can see what you're going to be showing. Of course, you're only going to ever see the screen you're in. If you pull over here to the other screen, of course, you don't see it anymore. But you can see that your audio's working. That's the main thing I look. Don't think there's any way to monitor the audio, which just gets to be I've used it a little bit recently to try to, I was working on OBS, but you can't use it. You can't just leave it on and it'll drive you nuts. It causes echo and reverb, and it ruins your video too. So, but I don't want to start recording now, so I'm going to hit cancel. Now you could go start over if you wanted. You could change things up. Oh, let's see. The other thing you can do is you can, I don't know, high quality, intermediate, I don't know. I didn't do that. I set up what I knew I wanted. But live streaming, you can do 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000 kilobits. And I did stream a couple of times to YouTube. I figured out how to do that. And, when you do that, it changes everything. You got to pay attention, make sure you got what you need for YouTube here. You don't have to go back. The previous stuff is fine. Got you FLV, bit rate. See, I went to 3,000, but it actually, I was thinking about the next time I streamed with this. If I did, I would probably go down to, I guess I'd go down to 2,000 and see if it would work, because it makes it use up too much resources. It's like 30% on the system. That was the thing. But I don't know. YouTube is, I know it works at 2,500 because I was doing it the last couple of days on OBS, but Well, unless OBS is automatically kicking it up, it could be, because there is a checkbox, obey the streaming service rules, you know. Yeah, so it might not work. Haven't tried it, but it does work at 3,000 on YouTube. And you go to your YouTube admin page, your live stream page, and you get your URL, and then you put / your username dot your stream key, and it's all on your live dashboard page at the bottom of it. And so that does work, and I've showed that in more detail. I showed when I was actually doing it and figuring out how to do it, so it's previous videos if you're really interested. Now, I've noticed when you click between these things, it changes things sometimes. You better pay attention. That looks okay. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to hit save anyway just to make sure I don't lose any of those, because that's what I've really been using. Yeah, that audio keeps changing, and I think it changes every time I move that. So that's the only thing I've noticed that I know of that's changing when you go through different menus. Okay, so that's back to normal. Hit cancel again. Now I'm going to go ahead and close the app. Okay, so yeah, that's actually really useful to have another streaming app, and although it won't do cameras, you can kind of get around that by just you know, doing a desktop recording, and then have a preview of, you know, just have your preview of your camera up, like have it up. Of course, you're seeing the full screen view of my camera, but I guess there's no way for me to. Let's see. That doesn't work well. Okay, see how that looks over here on the preview side? That's what you'd be seeing. Of course, you would only be seeing me, not. This is a preview of desktop and me on camera 1, so this on the left side here would be just the camera preview, and that's what I did. Or a couple times I can also show my camera in the, look at it in the, whoops, sorry, clicked on the wrong thing. My eyes are crossed. In the web browser, you can go to these. This is IP webcam on my phone streaming a VLC stream to my local network, and there's multiple ways to go look at it. You know. Anyway, so I used that to say hello and stuff like that. You know, I just like doing that. So what's the other thing? I said I was going to open up SSR and do something. Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. Maybe I don't want to do that something today. I got off to showing SSR, and yeah, OBS is back to working like it should. Okay, so just sit here for a second on that page while I think about it. Yeah, so I want to turn on, the backups. Yeah, see, this is why I want to go ahead and do it. Okay, so now I'm going to stop this stream, and I'm going to, this will just have to be a video, and I'll upload it of me backing up my scene collection and profile. And yeah, so yeah, I'm going to do it right now because I'm afraid I'll forget, and I'll end up, you know, if I end up breaking this and have to go start over on fixing it, I don't want to lose all these settings I just did. Okay, yeah, I'll rename those, back them up, and then I believe that's probably, I don't think I want to be brave enough to turn on the auto updates yet. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go over to Simple Stream Recorder and make that video and upload it later. All right.